You're about to embark on the 7 methods of use for the Inertia Wave. Hi, I'm Dave Parisi. Vibrations, oscillations. Do you remember those crazy bobblehead dolls? A light tap causes the head to bobble and oscillate. Our job as the user of the Inertia Wave is to keep the tubes in a constant rather than in a resting position.
Hi, I'm Dave Parisi, the inventor of the Inertia Wave. Today, we're going to learn the 7 methods of use. Right now, we have it anchored to a sled. Don't even think about the sled. This could be a wall with 2 studs behind it. It could be a squat rack, a bike rack, fencing, rails. You could be at a park. So let's not think about that. Just know that these rail straps are attached 24 to 36 inches apart, about waistline high. There's 7 methods of use with the Inertia Wave. And there's a specific pattern that we go through, oscillating waves, and they're done for a specific reason. I'm going to go through just the names of the 7 methods of use. The first one is called the Inertia Wave. The second one we're going to show is called the Hero Wave. The third one we're going to show is called Crossfire. From there, I'm going to go into a Thunder Slap, a Super Typhoon, an Oxygen Thief. And we're going to show those 7 methods, but before I get into it, once you hold these tubes in front of you, I want you to get into an athletic posture. It's called triple flexion. Notice that my ankles, my knees, and my hips are slightly flexed. If you're a golfer, if you're a tennis player, think about that athletic posture that you're in, addressing the ball as a golfer, or getting ready for the serve from tennis. Okay, it's called a ready position. So get in that athletic stance, strong and stable position. I want you to take the tubes into an equilibrium. That means they're not moving. Okay, they're just stagnant. Then I want you to walk back about 6 to 8 inches. And what's happening right now, because I'm in this row position, is I'm getting a little bit of retraction from the posterior chain, unlike other things that we know of, like battling ropes that automatically flex the anterior chain. So we're going to engage the posterior chain, get in this position, and we're going to try to take this equilibrium into what's called a constant. A constant is motion. So we're disrupting the inertia by keeping this energy in the tubes, trying to hear that oscillating wave sound. I'm staying very loose. I'm not stiff and standing tall. I'm working with it. It's almost like I'm trying to shake water off my hands. Okay, so that's the Inertia Wave. It never hits the ground. You take it from an equilibrium, you walk back, you get in your athletic posture, then you start to disrupt the equilibrium into what's called a constant, where you keep the energy in the tubes. In your mind, always think center of gravity, right? Or the center of the tubes. That's where the energy's coming from, okay? A wave and a trough, like a wave, so as it rises and as it falls. The second one we're going to go into is a tribute to our veterans. 5% of our company goes to ECAD, training service dogs for veterans. So we really appreciate your business. The Hero Wave sounds like a drum roll. It's a single oscillation and it hits the ground. It goes something like this. Remember, it's not out here. Pull it in like a row. Get in that athletic posture. Okay, that's the Hero Wave. Again, these are tight, whether they're on a squat rack, a bike rack, 24 to 36 inches apart. I come back. There's a nice meaty part at the end of the Inertia Wave. I grab it. I torque it. I get in the athletic posture, and I go into the Hero Wave. Now, What if I want to transition between the inertia wave and the hero wave? I start the hero wave, I start the inertia wave. I let that constant slow down. Then I go into the hero wave. Let it slow down. I go into the inertia wave. Between every method of use, there's 7 in all, you go from the constant to the equilibrium, let it slow down, and then transition into the next method. The third one I'm going to do is called the thunder slam. Both hit the ground at the same time. Unlike the hero wave that goes right, left, hits the ground, they both hit the ground at the same time. This is the thunder slam. I want you to look at my feet. Think about this. Every time it hits, I jump, okay? Watch my feet. Listen to the sound if you can hear my feet and the tubes at the same time. So I'm in the air when the tubes hit. Try to get that, it takes a little bit of coordination. The 7 methods of use were created not to do in exactly the same order. Let's say you're really efficient and mechanically inclined to do the oxygen thief, the super typhoon, and the hero wave, and you love it, and it feels great. Well, then you perfect that and practice that, and then you go to the others. But once you get all 7, cognitively just use your head and say, okay, I am much more coordinated transitioning from the oxygen thief to the super typhoon to the crossfire than I am from the hero wave, et cetera, et cetera. So yes, there are 7 methods of use, but as long as you're segueing from one method to the next, literally just letting the tube slow down and going right into it, you'll be fine. But today, right now, I'm going to show you the oxygen thief. But first I want to go over something. A basic squat, obviously, we all know how to squat. Okay, triple flexion. When we squat, our knees don't go forward. We want to actually initiate the squat with our hip right here and come back. The reason I say that is because I want to make sure that when you land, you go through the 3 steps of a squat. Acceleration, deceleration, and stabilization as far as the platform is concerned. Here's what I mean. When I jump, I just don't want to stop and jolt and put all the force load into my knees. When I jump, I want to decelerate, accelerate, and decelerate again. So I want to decelerate, accelerate, decelerate. When I land, I must go down. So land, go down, okay? Very important when you're doing the oxygen thief. The oxygen thief is the thunder slam with the jump. You're probably asking yourself, well, when do I jump? Coordination, timing. Think about it. When do you want to jump? Coordinated and timing. I hit the ground. Jump. So with the oxygen thief, you decide when you want to jump. There's 3 more methods out of the 7 that we haven't seen. I'm about to show you one of the easier ones called Crossfire. I'm going to start in a training wheel environment just so you could get the hang of it, and then show you how I transition into the actual 7th method of what's called the Crossfire. The Crossfire is an anti-rotation. Something that I might not have mentioned in the start of this video. Make sure your feet are no more than your shoulder width apart. I do see people online posting on social media with their legs really wide. Okay, remember, you're creating oscillating waves trying to engage deep stabilizing musculature as well as the outer muscles that expand over a certain number of joints that give you strength and power. So you're getting the best of both worlds. So challenge those worlds by keeping your feet together. Okay, if you want to keep them totally together, that would be great in certain movements. I'm going to show you now the Crossfire. Put the two ends together totally. Grab them with one hand. Pull them into that athletic posture right to your belly button. Use your whole body. Get those tubes to follow each other. Notice the tubes following each other. They're on a tabletop. Those tubes are sliding along a tabletop, smooth, flat surface. They don't go up, they don't go down, they stay right on that tabletop, and listen for that wind. You can see when I let go, the coil, recoil effect that the tubes have. That's energy in the tubes. That energy in the tubes translates from your hand down into the anchor point and back. Okay, the best way I could explain it, if you take a pebble and you drop it in a puddle, okay, the stone goes in the middle of that puddle and the rings emanate outward. So it originates into the puddle and emanates out. And that's what's happening. All this energy is going in your body and you'll feel it. You will feel your muscles engaged tremendously, besides the heart spiking. Once you get that motion, watch what I do with my hands. Now, there's one in each hand, but I haven't let them leave one another. My hands are still together, but I have a tube in each hand. So I went from two, right? And I slowly released until one was in each hand. One is in each hand. And now I just open them up. Okay? They're about 2 inches apart. Don't come out here. The tubes will start hitting each other if you open your hands too much. Don't let your hands come apart more than possibly 4 to 6 inches at max. 4 inches. Watch. Crossfire. Hands are together. A tube in each hand. My hands are apart. And that's the Crossfire. I equate the double over, one of the 7 methods of use, to like juggling balls. And I say that in a cognitive aspect because it's very easy for me to take these two tubes and start to rotate them around each other, and the tubes will hit. What we want to do is called circumduction. The double over is circumduction. I want to take my arm, right, and rotate it inward or clockwise. I want to take this arm and rotate it clockwise, right? And it's in with the wrist too. It's a lot of finesse with the wrist. So if I use one tube, I just start to make a circle with one tube, right? I take the other tube and I just start making a circle. I can make mini circles. So if you get used to just making a mini circle with the tube, again, this is the training wheel effect. Just make a mini circle. And watch this. If I start to try to use my arm, it doesn't do anything. I'm just feeling the energy coming from the center of the tube. It's hard to explain until you feel it. I'm actually moving the tube from the center. And you'll understand once you put them in your hand, very elastic-like. So this oscillating circle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to think right side, left side brain, right? So the cognitive benefits of this are tremendous. Where you have physical therapists doing this as well. What we're going to do is the circles. We're going to make these small circles, right? So they're going in towards each other. Remember, circles coming in, coming in. So this one's going counterclockwise, and the left one's going clockwise. And then I'm going to try to go right side, left side brain, right? Circles. And once I get that, where they don't leave midline, if you drive a straight line, draw a straight line down the center, they're still on their own territory. I want them to go over each other. Remember the small circles. They're not going into each other's territory, but now, circumduction, they go over each other. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And when you do that, automatically, excuse me for being winded, automatically you're going to feel your feet want to transition. The base of support, or the platform to which you're in while you're utilizing this oscillating wave, the 7 method called the double over, it's going to make you want to run a little bit. Go for it. Okay, start moving and get the whole body engaged. Another 7 method of use in that category, as you're segueing through, is called the Super Typhoon. As we know, the Typhoon is the strongest hurricane on record. So the Typhoon is also the strongest when you're engaging the outer muscles and the deep stabilizing muscles, because you're also doing anti-rotation. So there's a lot going on in the Super Typhoon, a lot of coordination and skill. The Super Typhoon is just you turning your body 1/4 to the right or to the left, facing the opposite direction as you're doing the Crossfire. But you also have a force load pulling you towards your anchor points. So there's a lot of muscles engaging for stability and balance as well. Do you remember the Crossfire? That's what it's going to look like the whole time you're doing the Super Typhoon. Okay, so I grab the 2 tubes together and I hold them together and I never let them go during the Super Typhoon. So you're always going to have at least one hand during the transition. Okay, I start to go into the Crossfire. I slowly turn. I still keep this Crossfire, see that? Then I grab and I help the 2 hands out. And here's my 0. This is the easiest. I come out to my level 5. I come out to my level 10. I let it slow down. I grab. I help the other hand out. Stabilize my body. My feet are exactly the position I need them, where I don't feel like I'm going to get pulled towards the anchor points. I'm in my 5. I'm in my 10. I slow it down. I catch my breath. I speed it up. I switch. I slow it down. Now, there are training wheels to this. Drop a tube. Matter of fact, drop a tube for every method. Look, inertia wave. Switch. Slow it down. Hero wave. Slow it down. Switch. Slow it down. Crossfire. Sing along, Crossfire. Switch. Circumduction, double over. Slow it down. Switch. Slow it down. Thunder slam, which is almost like the hero wave, but you have 2 in your hand. Oxygen thief. Slow it down. Super Typhoon. Single tube. So, there's always a way to regress, right? With any exercise program you're on, there's regression and progression. So, master the 7 methods of use before you just try to get right into it. When you master the 7 methods of use and learn how to transition from one to another, letting it slow down to that equilibrium before you go into the constant, before you go into the actual pattern or the method, take it slow. Everything could be regressed. You don't have to go through the inertia wave like this, but you could go through it like this. Okay, remember, there's a starting point to everything.
Those are the 7 methods of use as part of your metabolic conditioning program. For additional requests, quantity discounts, or to become a distributor or affiliate, please email us at help@inertiawave.com. That's help@inertiawave.com. Thank you for your purchase of the Inertia Wave, and please refer to the video tutorial, Creative Ways to Anchor Your Inertia Wave.